Trent happened again. A neighborhood group was flooded with comments like that when parents realized a middle school bus had come under attack.
KOLR 10 Investigates has learned Trent Moore, the man behind bars in that case, was the subject of multiple complaints from neighbors that didn't result in any action until after Moore pried open the doors of a Springfield school bus earlier this month and sent 13 middle schoolers running in fear.
Chief investigative reporter Lauren Barnes is looking into the paper trail showing multiple people tried to stop the non-compliant sex offender before that bus attack happened.
Yeah, you guys, I also tracked down the teenage victim he kidnapped several years ago, who's grown up, moved away, and says based on how her case was handled, she's not shocked to hear Moore is in trouble once again.
I lived my whole entire life in fear.
Faith Richardson lives on the West Coast now, abruptly picking up her life in Springfield and moving thousands of miles away once she realized her attacker was walking free.
He specifically told me, I'm gonna kill myself and you're gonna watch and you will never have seen so much blood in your entire life.
Richardson used to work with Trent Moore, the suspected school bus attacker at Steak and Shake. Court documents show that's where he kidnapped the 17-year-old after a shift on the night of August 2nd, 2019. He took her to a remote wooded area outside Springfield where Richardson says he held a gun to her head and threatened to kill himself if she didn't have sex with him. Eventually, they ran out of gas and she got help from an employee working at Casey's pizza counter, who called 911 after she slipped them a note. Her case went to trial and Moore was convicted of kidnapping and sexual misconduct, both misdemeanors. He got probation and did not serve jail time for those crimes until he violated it.
For someone to get a slap on the wrist and just be reinvited back into society after committing such a heinous act is completely awful, and it doesn't keep anybody else safe.
Richardson was at work on April 3rd, 2024, when she got the call from her sister that something bad happened back home again. Her attacker was arrested for breaking into a Pershing middle school bus with more than a dozen kids on board, assaulting the driver and stealing the keys before engaging in an 8-hour standoff with police at his family's Brentwood home. I talked to several people who live in the neighborhood and either witnessed or heard about what happened that day. Amy Hunsaker-Williams lives in the neighborhood with her family.
Am I worried that something like this could happen again? Of course. Am I worried that things could happen inside of a school? Yes.
Springfield Public Schools confirms the bus stop is at this intersection of Cambridge and Barnes, just about 500 feet down the street from where the suspect's home is, and just over the tree line from Field Elementary School, where families say Moore had been harassing them in the weeks prior. The Greene County Sheriff's Office confirms one of its detectives was investigating complaints that Moore had been bothering families at the park on school property, which would be a felony violation as a sex offender. Detectives were gathering evidence to support a case against Moore when the incident involving the bus happened on April 3rd. The Sheriff's Office says it wasn't until 2 days after that, on April 5th, that Springfield Public Schools sent the detective video evidence showing Moore on SPS property. A spokesperson for the school district declined to comment on the specific timeline, but pushed back against the idea SPS was slow in responding to complaints about Moore, saying school police were prompt in writing reports and sharing evidence with the sheriff's office.
Do not let him get off on just probation because he has abused it again and again and again.
We are on high alert in case that should happen. I think right now we have a sense of feeling a little bit safer.
Last September, Moore's mother also called the police for help when he showed up at her home and acted like he was going to hit her. The reporting officer said Moore insulted them, called them profanities, and was about as uncooperative as he could manage while in handcuffs. The prosecutor told me Moore's mother moved out of state and decided not to pursue trespassing charges.
All right, Lauren Barnes.